What is going on, guys? Draguite here, and today we have a Plunder Patrol deck profile. I know this seems kind of an odd time to do a Plunder Patrol video, considering that Master Duel just added in the Adventurer cards, hence the Plunder Patrol Adventurer engine. But we're not running the Adventurer engine in this particular build. This is just a pure Plunder Patrol build. No other kinds of engines or gimmicks. Plunder Patrol is one of my favorite archetypes in the game. They are a little bit complicated to kind of get around, but as soon as you kind of learn the mechanics of it, it's a really fun deck to play. Pretty much it involves just getting out your cards, and if your opponent controls a monster on the field or graveyard with the same type as your extra deck monsters, being light, fire, dark, or water, you're able to, on a quick effect, summon out your monsters from the extra deck and equip your own little goblin minions here to them, like little pirates getting in a little ship. It's cute, it's awesome. So we're gonna go ahead and get into the deck list here. First off, we have 2 copies of Dogoran, the Mad Flame Kaiju. We're running Dogoran because if your opponent's not playing any fire monsters and you don't have your trap card out on the field, you're able to summon your Plunder Patrol ship Brawn with it. Same thing for the 2 copies of Radion. This is to get out your Plunder Patrol ship Mork, because it is a dark type. So we run 2 copies of each of these kaijus. We're not running Gamma Seal because a lot of your own cards are water type, and you can use your own cards. So we're not running Gamma Seal. Next up, we have 3 copies of Whitebeard, the Plunder Patrol Helm. During your opponent's turn, quick effect, you can special summon a Plunder Patrol monster from your extra deck with the same attribute as a monster your opponent controls or is in their graveyard. If you do, equip this card you control to it. If this card is sent from the hand or monster zone to the graveyard, you can activate this effect, special summon 1 Plunder Patrol monster from the deck, except Whitebeard, the Plunder Patrol Helm. You cannot special summon other monsters for the rest of this turn, except for Plunder Patrol monsters. You can only use each effect of Whitebeard, the Plunder Patrol Helm, once per turn. A lot of the Plunder Patrol cards have an effect where it's sent from the hand or monster zone to the graveyard, because there are a lot of cards that will discard. For instance, I believe Golden Hair will discard from your hand. So a lot of these effects proc when they are discarded or just sent from the field to the graveyard. So this one in particular can special summon any of your Plunder Patrols from the deck, which is really good. So this is a great copy to have at 3. Next up, we have 3 copies of Redbeard, the Plunder Patrol Matey. During your opponent's turn, you can, obviously. But this one is on a quick effect. During your opponent's turn, you can special summon 1 Plunder Patrol monster from your extra deck with the same attribute as a monster your opponent controls or is in their graveyard. And if you do, equip this card you control to it. If this card is sent from the hand or monster zone to the graveyard, you can target a Plunder Patrol monster you control, except for Redbeard, and equip this card to it. So, if this card is maybe destroyed by your opponent and is sent to the graveyard, you can just activate its effect to re-equip it back to a Plunder Patrol monster you control, that being your Lease, your Brawn, or your Mork, or even your Blackbeard. Next, we have 3 copies of Black Eyes, the Plunder Patrol Sea Guide. You can target a Plunder Patrol monster in your graveyard, except for Black Eyes. Special summon this card from your hand, and if you do, add that monster to your hand. Also, you cannot special summon for the rest of this turn, except for Plunder Patrol monsters. If this card is sent from the hand or monster zone to the graveyard, you can target a Plunder Patrol monster card in your spell in the trap zone, special summon it in defense position. You can only use each effect of Black Eyes once per turn. This is an incredibly easy to get off special summon, because you do have your Golden Hair for discarding other Plunder Patrol monsters. And let's say if you're going second, because this is very much a going second deck, there are plenty of different ways to get your little goblins into the graveyard. So having this as a resource to recycle a lot of your cards, because let's say you get your Bluebeard into the graveyard, you add your Bluebeard back, special summon your Black Eyes, and then you can special summon your Bluebeard. And then you can go and do your link plays or what have you. Speaking of which, we're running 3 copies of Bluebeard. If you control a Plunder Patrol monster except for Bluebeard, you can special summon this card from your hand. If this card is sent from the hand or monster zone to the graveyard, you can discard 1 card and then draw 1 card. You can only use each effect of Bluebeard, the Plunder Patrol Shipwright, once per turn. Again, this is really good if you perhaps have to normal summon a Plunder Patrol. You can go ahead and special summon this card out from your hand to go into your link plays. It does have the restriction of locking you into Plunder Patrol monsters if you do special summon any of your other ones. Next up, we have 3 copies of Golden Hair, the newest Plunder Patrol. You can send 1 other Plunder Patrol monster card from your hand or face up on the field to the graveyard. Special summon this card from your hand. If this card is in your graveyard, you can discard 1 card and then special summon this card. But you cannot special summon for the rest of this turn except for Plunder Patrol monsters. You can only use each effect of Golden Hair, the newest Plunder Patrol, once per turn. This is, again, really good if you have Black Eyes and Golden Hair in the same hand with another of your little goblins. You can discard 1 with Golden Hair to special summon it, then use Black Eyes to return it to your hand, special summon Black Eyes, and even if you have Bluebeard in your hand after that, you can special summon Bluebeard as well. So not only do you have Blackbeard on the field, you also have another card to attach to one of your extra deck monsters. So really great card, really great special summon, and it gives you resources in the graveyard. Next we have 3 copies of Ash Blossom and Joy Spring. For obvious reasons, we're going second, so well, you would really prefer to go second. I cannot guarantee that you'll go second every time, but I strongly recommend you try your hardest to go second. So you want to have this in order to disrupt your opponent during their combos, during their plays, so they don't set up a huge board full of negates for your next turn. Next we have 1 copy of Harpys Feather Duster, just obvious back row clearing. You can't go wrong with it. Then we have 2 copies of Pot of Desires. We run a lot of 3-ofs in this deck, so having Pot of Desires banish 10 from the top doesn't seem that bad. As you can see, we run 3 copies of pretty much every single Plunder Patrol card except for Emblem of the Plunder Patrol, right? So having to banish 10 face down isn't terribly bad. The odds of you banishing all 3 of a particular card are very low, but never 0, so be careful. Next, we run 3 copies of Dark Ruler No More. This is just a staple going second card. Your opponent can't respond to it with a monster card, and it just locks down monster effects on their side of the field for their whole turn. I'm going to turn down my music real quick, if you don't mind. Again, back to what I was saying. Staple going second card, Dark Ruler No More. Just negate the effects of all face-up monsters your opponent currently controls until the end of this turn. Also, they take no damage, which is not a problem, because your main priority isn't dealing lethal damage in 1 turn. Your main priority is clearing their board. Then we have 1 copy of Terraforming. Your field spell is incredibly good for this deck. You're going to want to get your field spell out. It's not absolutely essential, but it does provide a lot of good effects. I'll go ahead and read that for you. Plunder Patrol monsters you control gain 500 attack for each Plunder Patrol card in your spell and trap zone. You can only use the following effects of Plunder Patrol Shipyard once per turn. I also really love how it says shipyard, like it's little goblin pirates. I should mention before I get into the little bulleted list there that the 500 attack boost is not minuscule. You can get your extra deck cards up to insane amounts of attack points. I remember there was one time where I actually did get them up to about like 6,000 one time. I'm pretty sure it was I'm pretty sure it was this card. I got up to 6,000 at one point. It might not have been 6,000, but I do remember it was like stupid high. As for the effects, you can discard 1 card, add 1 Plunder Patrol card from your deck to your hand, except Plunder Patrol Shipyard. Again, great card if you need your special summons, your quick effect disruptions, or even your Continuous Trap card, which is also very, very good for this deck. Did I even talk about Emblem of the... I didn't even mention the Emblem of the Plunder Patrol. I mentioned it earlier, but I think I might have skipped over it. I also skipped over Called by the Grave. I got off on a tangent, guys. You gotta remind me of these things. We do run 1 copy of Called by the Grave. I wish this card was at 2, but unfortunately, Konami hates me. But we are running just the 1 copy of Called by the Grave. Just in case you get Ash Blossomed, even though you are the Ash Blossomer in this scenario, just in case you get Ash Blossomed, we do have that 1 copy of Called by the Grave. Back on track, guys. Sorry about that. I get off on tangents sometimes. Equip only to a Plunder Patrol monster. It gains 500 attack. Also, your opponent cannot target it with card effects. You can send this equipped card to the graveyard and special summon 1 Plunder Patrol monster from your extra deck with the same attribute as a monster on the field or in the graveyard. Then take the monster that was equipped with this card, equip it to that special summoned monster as an equip spell with this effect. The equipped monster gains 500 attack. This is a great card. It's not too great, actually, but it's still really, really good. You can equip it to your Plunder Patrol, send it to the graveyard, and then special out one of your extra deck monsters. Now, I will mention that it doesn't say on your opponent's side of the field. It's just on the field in general. So this is a little bit more versatile, but it's very situational. The 500 attack boost that you gain does stack with your Plunder Patrol shipyard. So you can actually get your monsters up to dummy high levels, like I mentioned. I already talked about the shipyard because I got off on my tangent. But again, just 3 copies of shipyard. Next, we're running 3 copies of Infinite Impermanence. Again, this is a going second deck, so you're going to want to be able to have this in your hand. Opening turn, you have no cards on the field. You can go ahead and negate a monster your opponent controls, probably a combo maker, combo extender. Slap down that Infinite Impermanence, you lock down that row, and you lock down that monster. So, incredibly good card for going second. Finally, we have 3 copies of Plunder Patrol Booty. Yeah, so this is a continuous trap card that says you can declare 1 attribute, then target 1 face-up monster your opponent controls. It becomes that attribute until the end of this turn, even if this card leaves the field. Then you can take 1 Plunder Patrol monster from your graveyard and either shuffle it into the deck or special summon it. You can only use this effect of Plunder Patrol Booty once per turn. Once per turn, during the end phase, if you control no Plunder Patrol monsters, send this card to the graveyard. This is a good card for if your opponent is not playing any monsters with the attributes in your extra deck, that being light, fire, or dark, or water, I guess. You can go ahead and pop your trap card and change one of their monsters to a light, fire, or dark type. So, also, it gives you the resource of being able to special summon your Plunder Patrols from the graveyard. Or it can allow you to cycle back your extra deck monsters. So, all around, great card. It's kind of hard to search, if I'm being honest. I wish it was a little bit easier. I know you can search it with the field spell and a few of your other cards, but I do wish it was a little bit easier to search. We need generic continuous trap support. I'm just kidding. That would make skill drain even better. Alright, so for the extra deck, we are running 2 copies of Plunder Patrol Ship Lease. It just requires 2 Plunder Patrol monsters, but you're not going to be using polymerization. You're going to be using your monster effects. During the main phase, quick effect. You can special summon 1 Plunder Patrol monster card from your hand or face up spell and trap zone. When your opponent activates a monster effect, quick effect, you can discard 1 Plunder Patrol card and negate the activation. And if you do, destroy it. Excuse me. Then, if this card was equipped with a Plunder Patrol card, you can add 1 Plunder Patrol card from your deck to your hand. You can only use each effect of Plunder Patrol Ship Lease once per turn. This is probably the best one out of the 3. It gives you a monster negate, it gives you a search. All around great card. Next, we are running 1 copy of Adamemancipator Draguite. This just requires a tuner and a non-tuner. It's a level 8 and I believe Golden Hair is a level 4 tuner, and then you can slap down a non-tuner. Just in, like, I do run a couple monsters in here, just in case you aren't locked into your Plunder Patrol extra deck monsters, which you might be a lot, but I do have backups here just in case. So we do have the 1 copy of Adamemancipator Draguite. Next we have 2 copies of Plunder Patrol Ship Brawn. All other Fiend monsters you control gain 500 attack. All of them are Fiends. These aren't like machine type monsters or a warrior type for some reason, because I know that Konami likes to make inanimate objects warriors sometimes. Then target... Oh, you can discard a Plunder Patrol card, then target 1 spell or trap your opponent controls, banish it. Then you can add a Plunder Patrol monster from your deck to your hand. This is a quick effect if this card is equipped with a Plunder Patrol card. You can only use this effect of Brawn once per turn. This is, again, a fantastic card, and it's the whole reason I put Dogoran in here. Again, just in case you don't have your booty out on the field, you can slap down Dogoran, and you're able to summon your Brawn off of it. Next, we have 1 copy of Bahamut Shark. I know you can see the toad over there. I will get to the toad. I will talk about the toad. But Bahamut Shark is the whole reason I have the toad here. It requires 2 level 4 water monsters, which a good majority of our deck are level 4 water monsters. Once per turn, you can detach a material from this card. Special summon a rank 3 or lower water Xyz monster from your extra deck. This card cannot attack for the rest of the turn. Obviously, you're going to be summoning your toad. But again, we'll get to him. We have 2 copies of Plunder Patrol Ship Mork. It does require 2 level 4 monsters. It is very easy to go into just offhand. But again, you can summon it with your Blackbeard. 2 level 4 monsters. You can discard 1 Plunder Patrol card, then target an effect monster your opponent controls, banish it, then you can add a Plunder Patrol spell or trap from your deck to your hand. This is a quick effect if it is equipped with a Plunder Patrol card. You can only use this effect of Mork once per turn. If a Plunder Patrol card or cards you control would be destroyed by a battle or card effect, you can detach a material from this card instead. So it does give you a lot of benefit for going into it with Xyz materials, but you don't have to. Now, I'm going to kind of speed through the rest of the deck list because this is getting a lot longer than I wanted it to be. 1 copy of Totally Awesome. I love this card, but it is incredibly annoying to play against. 1 copy of Underworld Goddess, just in case you have a big board of monsters and you want to get rid of a big boy on their side of the field that can't be destroyed by card effects. Link summon it off using Underworld Goddess. Then we have 3 copies of Blackbeard, the Plunder Patrol Captain. It requires 2 monsters, including a Plunder Patrol monster. Quick effect, you can target an effect monster you control, special summon 1 Plunder Patrol monster from your extra deck with the same attribute as a monster your opponent controls or is in their graveyard. And if you do, equip that target to it, then draw 1 card. You can only use this effect of Blackbeard, Plunder Patrol Captain once per turn. This is the main guy you want to go into in order to get off of your plays. Next up, we have 1 copy of Salaman Great Almirage, or I should say finally. I put Almirage in here because if you get one of your people in one of your goblins in the graveyard, you can go ahead and Almirage it there, and then you can activate your Black Eyes, just in case you don't have a way of getting your other goblins into the deck in your hand, or just off the rip, I guess. Go ahead and Almirage it, go into Black Eyes. So, sorry this took 18 minutes, but this is the deck list. I'm pretty proud of it, and I hope you guys enjoy it. I'm going to show a couple duels, even though this video is almost 20 minutes long, but I hope you guys enjoyed. Stick around, and this has been DrewYGO.